Hi, my name is Mrs. Killian, and I'm a third grade teacher at Lafayette Upper Elementary. Today we're going to look at multiplication as equal groups. This is an introduction and the beginning of our adventure into multiplication. Throughout the week, we're going to look at different strategies for solving multiplication statements. Now, in third grade, the emphasis is to understand what exactly multiplication is and start memorizing our facts for our zeros, our ones, our twos, our fives, and our tens. In today's lesson, we will learn multiplication vocabulary, look at pictures of groups, and establish what multiplication statement they're illustrating, learn how to draw multiplication statements.
So before we move forward, I want to make sure we're all on the same page with multiplication vocabulary. And so first we're going to look at the 4 and the 6 that are being multiplied together. And the 4 and the 6 are both factors. Okay, and then we have this x. And in a multiplication statement, it is the multiplication sign. You can also see a dot in the middle of two numbers or a parentheses. However, for our examples, we are only going to be using the x today. And then the last part of this multiplication statement, the 24, the answer is called the product. So the product of 4 times 6 is 24.
So now that we've talked about the vocabulary, we're going to look at some examples of where we're going to look at pictures and figure out what multiplication sentence they are representing. So here we have the cover of a book, and I see two oranges. So there are two oranges, and each one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So they both have an equal amount of 8 slices. So the book cover is representing 2 times 8. This is another page out of the same book as the oranges. And for this picture, we're going to focus on this sentence where it said, I saw 3 red flowers. Each red flower had 6 pretty petals. So I can also see in the picture that there are 3 red flowers, and each of them have an equal amount of 6 petals. So that is representing 3 times 6. Now we're going to look at how many eggs are there. And for this problem, we are going to take it a step further than we have with the other problems. And we are going to actually work to solve it. The couple of problems we've been doing, we've just been working on figuring out what the pictures are representing, and now we're going to take it a step further. So we're going to start the same way, where we're going to look at how many groups there are. Well, these eggs are grouped into nests, so I'm going to look at how many nests there are. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 nests. So there are 6 groups of, and each one I see has 2 eggs in it. So now I'm going to go back and I'm going to skip count, because multiplication is super quick skip counting once you memorize your facts. Right now, we're using strategies and we're figuring out what exactly multiplication is. So we are going to go in and we're going to go 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. That means that 6 times 2 is 12. So now we're going to look at how would I draw 3 times 2. So we're going to look at it and we're going to make 3 groups. So here's 1, 2, 3. Then in each one, we're going to put 2 dots. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. So now I can see that 3 times 2 is 2, 4, 6.
the next problem we're going to look at is how would you draw 5 times 3? So when we look at this, we see 5 groups of 3. Okay, so I'm going to make 5 groups. So I'm going to start with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then I'm going to put 3 tally marks in each. Okay. Now I can go back and I can skip count if I feel comfortable doing that by 3, or if I'm not quite there yet, I can go 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, which means that 5 times 3 equals 15. Now, the last problem we're going to look at is going to feel very similar to the problem we just did. But it's going to say, how would you draw 3 times 5? Now, when we read this, we read 3 groups of 5. With multiplication, you can flip-flop the factors, and the math will work out to the same at the end, but they are representing 2 different ideas. So with this one, we're going to make 3 groups, 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to put 5 tally marks in each. And once again, I can skip count now by 5, or I can count the tally marks. So I have 5, 10, 15, which means that 3 times 5 is also equal to 15.